Hola everybody, my name is Mike at Filmboy24. Today, we're back with my Krasnogorsk-3 16mm camera, and I took it out a few days ago and I shot this roll of Vision 2 50D. And before I get started, if you watched my video last week where I talked about a very inspirational to me feature film, horror slasher feature film that was shot on Super 8 in 1988-89. I think they crossed into 89, or maybe it was shot in 88, released in 89, somewhere in that range. Well, I talked about that movie a little bit, and it's still one of my all-time favorite and most inspirational movies of my time, simply because it really gave me that push into Super 8 and wanting to be a filmmaker. And I went on and I made a ton of short films and a ton of commercial projects, but never actually completed a feature film. So I'll just cling to life with that one. If you haven't seen that video, check it out. I'll put a link somewhere up here. Check out that. And if you're interested in the movie Killer, down in the description, I'll put the website for the movie. It's sansperf.com. I talked to the director of the movie, Tony Elwood, via email a couple of times, and he was kind enough to send me a t-shirt, which you'll probably see on my next video or two, and a coffee mug. And so, Tony, I really appreciate it, my friend. It will now become part of my regular rotation, especially here in October, my favorite month of the year. Okay, back to it. The K3 Krasnogorsk-3 16mm movie camera. It's a Russian-made camera. I've used it several times on my channel. I absolutely love these Russian-made cameras. I also did a video not too long ago, a few months back, with my Russian-made Super 8 wind-up camera. I can't remember the model number, but it's such a fun camera, extremely reliable. I'll put a link to that video too if you're interested in seeing that. The results were, you know, as good as any Super 8 camera I have. And yet, you wind it up. Anyway, I decided to take this K3, this is my new one, and it actually was new when I bought it, new old stock. Decided to take this out for one final spin before it's doomsday. I say not really a doomsday, it's a fun day because I'm going to give this little camera here an upgrade. Now, you don't believe me, I know, but I know I've been talking about it for months. I have it upside down, everything I need. I have the new widened gate. I have the recentering ring for the lens. Now, yeah, you got to deal with the viewfinder. You're still only going to see the 4x3 viewfinder image, but you have to just, you know, use your noggin. Allow for it a little bit on the right side. I have a little noggin, so I can allow for a little. I even bought a couple of little handy screwdrivers there to get in there. And on the advice of my buddy Christian over at True Film, guy knows what he's doing when it comes to these cameras. He said, you really want to sort of fine sand this new gate down well so you don't tear up your film. Because they're, you know, these are just probably quickly and roughly made, and sometimes you get your film and you run across it and then it scratches your film. So I just jumped online and ordered this little, whatever it is, 20-pack of varying degrees, varying grits of sandpaper, wet or dry sandpaper. I think it's up to, shoot, I don't know, like 3,000 grit. So, I will be fine sanding. Thank you, Christian. One last thing I want to touch on before let me put this away, before we get into the results of this. I've had some issues lately with people leaving me comments. I don't want to say lately, it's happened quite a bit. And I've read some stories about it. People will leave me a comment and it'll come up in my notification, the little bell on my the admin side of my YouTube page. There'll be a little number by the bell, kind of like your Facebook notifications where you can tell if somebody's mentioned your name. And I click on it, and then the list drops down, and I can see the comments that people left. And I can click on any of the comments, and it opens it up completely, and that's where you can respond to those specific comments. Well, a lot of times I'm opening up my notifications and I'm seeing the comments, and when I click on one, they're not there. So I have read that YouTube just randomly deletes comments, or the user might delete the comments, or I just want everybody to know I don't delete any comments. I mean, you got to call me and my mother some really, really vicious names for me to delete your comment. I might not respond to it, but I don't delete them typically, unless it's a spam or a bot comment of a link or something. So anyway, don't ever think for a second that I ever deleted your comment. I know Christian at True Film, I hope you're watching this. I did see in my notifications that you left me a comment, and then you had to leave a second comment talking about how the first one got deleted. Well, they're both not there. When I click on them, they're gone. So I promise you it's not me that's deleting comments, they're just not showing up. Anyway, on to this. This is a video I almost didn't make, and I'll tell you why. Because I took this roll of Vision 2 50D, a 7201 model number, and I put it in this camera, my K3, and I took it to a little place called Cracker Creek in Port Orange, Florida. My wife and I went there, and we went with the intention of just sort of filming some wildlife or whatever we could find. And we ended up finding lots and lots and lots of turtles, as you'll see here in just a minute. So I filmed all of the entire roll. Here it is. And as most of you know, or many of you know, I not only do all of my own filming, obviously, like most of you do, but I also do all of my own film processing and all of my own film scanning on my Movie Stuff RetroScan Mark I unit. When I process ECN2 film, or this Vision stock, sometimes I'll use an ECN2 chemical, and sometimes I'll use a C41 chemical. The ECN2 usually comes out better because that's its native process. That's the way it was designed. This is the film that it was designed for. But C41 also works. I had some issues with this particular roll, and here's the thing. I believe that it has something to do with this particular roll of film, because I don't know how these were stored. I got a whole bunch of this type of film. Vision 2, a few rolls of Vision 3, these 100-foot rolls, like 80 of them or something. And I got them really cheap, and I bought them not knowing what their storage conditions were or how old they actually were or anything, because I'm sort of an experiment guy, as you probably know or maybe don't. So I don't know if it's the film. I think a lot of it has to do with the way this particular film was stored. The age of the film, and I will say a lot of it has to do with my particular film process. So I guess what I'm trying to say, in short, even though that wasn't really short, is the results aren't very good. There's a lot of color shifting. I did my best to try to fix that a little bit, but the more you work on and process and keep adding filters and this and that to your film, the more sort of convoluted everything starts getting, and you sort of lose track of what's really there, and you lose the organic qualities and the beauty of the film itself. So I did the best I could, kind of quickly color correcting or color grading it a bit. It was shot at 24 frames per second, and there are some streaking, sort of like, you know, waviness from my poor uneven developing. And again, I did process this roll in C41, which is not the process that is designed for this. I am going to try, the FPP has a color developer. I think it's advertised as sort of a C41. However, it is a true 3-bath process as opposed to these 2-bath processes I've been using. So I'll be picking that up pretty soon, and I'll let you know what happens. Settle down. When I get to that. So without a whole lot more of what I do best, most of you know, let me show you some sort of wacky colored turtles. I told you not to expect a whole lot. You know, I'm a work in progress. I feel like every roll of film that I shoot and develop and scan, I learn a little something more. And I learned very little on this one. It is what it is. I had fun shooting it. The roll of film cost me very little, under 10 bucks. I'm having fun, and it's not that expensive. These cameras are very inexpensive. So I hope you enjoy these videos as much as I enjoy making them. Because don't forget, it's like my mailman's next door neighbor's last best friend's sister's cousin's uncle used to tell him to tell me, if you're not having fun, then you're just not living. Well, you gotta have some fun. One last thing I want to tell you. I shot this roll of Kodak Tri-X 7266 in one of my Canon 1014 XLS Super 8 movie cameras. I shot this a couple days ago. It has yet to be processed, which I will do soon. I did sort of just some experimenting. I did everything in auto on my 1014, and since I process everything as a negative, and this is a reversal film, Kodak recommends you almost cut your ISO in half. So this is a 200 speed film. I didn't actually film it at 100 ISO. All I did was bump my exposure compensation because I wanted to shoot it in all auto, see what it would do. So I just bumped the exposure compensation knob to a +1, which gives me about another stop of light. Woo! And I love light. So look for this soon. This is coming in the next video or two, probably 3. And I have a whole lot of 16mm film that was sent to me by my buddy Jim. And we will be getting that processed and displayed very soon. Within the next 2 videos, you'll see that. If you enjoy videos like this, I want you to do me a huge favor and do it right up here this time. Just tap the like button for me. It means a lot to me. It really helps this channel more than you know. If you wouldn't mind, I mean, I would love it. Right there, see that picture? Subscribe and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Be kind, please. Well, I don't care. You can say what you really want to say. And until the very next time I see every single one of you stunning people. Yep, I'll see you on the next go-around.